Can Space Station Gaming make a third grand final in a row? That's the one of the storylines here. That's obviously the main one for us on the SSG viewing party on SSG Mission Control. But can Rogue make their deepest run by far? They really will want this. And today's been a pretty crazy day for them. Game 5 win against the Sonics. That was an overtime Game 5 win after a comeback from behind. So this isn't even the first time that they've done this tonight. But we're going to get into Game 1 right now. It's SSG against Rogue. SSG have to be the favorites here, given the fact that they just 3-0'd G2. They're, week 1 grid winners. They're week 2 finalists. Rogue only now able to make a good run. Let's see if they're going to be able to play at the same level as them. Oh, do I not have game sound on? My mistake. Let me just turn that on for you guys. It should be on now. I was positive that I unmuted that, but apparently I didn't, so my mistake there. Unfortunately, I can't give you back all the game sounds that you've missed, but luckily for you, the ones that you're about to hear are all very similar to the ones that you missed earlier. So just imagine, these kind of ball hits, the boosts, the flipping. That's kind of all what you missed, so not too big of a deal, really. You'll never trust again. Sorry, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I promise. Yeah, if Rogue can beat Envy in a Game 5, if they can beat Sonics in a Game 5, then they're really playing consistently and they're playing clutch when it matters. So SSG have got to be careful in those kind of positions. They would much rather just get out in front and hold on to the leads like they did against G2. Going all the way to Game 5s, going into tie game situations late in a game with Rogue is never a good idea. It's never a comfortable position to be in. But yeah, without doubt, SSG are the favorites here. I think they're probably the favorites against anybody right now in North America. Oh, that would have been nasty for Kurnovi. But luckily for SSG, he wasn't able to make contact with that ball. Typical. Scoops it up out into the middle. Arsenal's going to try and knock it down the line. First killer's there for the interception. That's a nice infield pass as well, but so far SSG's defense of infield passes has been phenomenal. Kurnovi, keen awareness of when the back boost is going to respawn, and at the moment Rogue have had good coverage of ball pressure, their goal area and the back wall. One player in each of those 3 positions at any one time. Turintero just leaves this one. Don't know if he was called off that or if he just decided his touch wasn't going to be worthwhile. But the main things to look out for when you're playing against Rogue are those incredible mechanical plays coming out of, well, basically anyone on their team. All 3 of these guys are just wonders players to watch when you want to see a crazy goal happen. Whether it's a team play or a solo play, Rogue, they really know how to make it look cool. Obviously, that's what we're all about here on the Space Station Gaming Mission Control. We want to see some good Rocket League, and luckily, because we're watching Space Station Gaming every match, that's a guarantee. But when you've got Rogue on the other side of the field as well, it's just all the more likely that what you're going to see is going to be something special. And we've got 7 games potentially. Rettles takes his time. Love the timing on that flick as well. He didn't leave it too late. He didn't wait until the very last second. It's a much safer approach than trying to flick it over somebody at the very last moment. That's dangerous. And actually, first killer caught in no man's land. Rettles reads this off the ceiling perfectly. Wow, the setup here was quite extraordinary. But once more, Rogue's backwall coverage is impressive. That doesn't seem to be a weak spot for them. I think most of the time that Rogue get in trouble in a series is actually just when they lose a goal early. That they don't like to play from behind at all. Space Station Gaming, we've seen, they don't mind playing from behind. They know how to safely and effectively turn a losing game into at least a chance for a winning game. But Rogue tend to get very clumped up, and they tend to get very desperate when they're behind, and that can sometimes lead to crazy moments and crazy games. And I'm not denying their clutch factor in those moments, but I think Space Station are the more comfortable team in those situations, no doubt. Solid defense from Arsenal. He's back in the Fennec here. Every one of the Space Station Gaming players have got that willingness to just dribble out of defense. What a flick by Sipical. He just whips it up towards Rettles, who is waiting in the wing. And Rettles not going to miss from that range. That's just not a position you want to be in as a Rogue player. It's not the kind of play you want to see develop if you're a Rogue fan. They need somebody to be attacking that ball. If Rettles has all the time in the world to choose where to hit that ball, when to hit that ball, how hard to hit it, Rogue are never going to be the favorites. Oh, look at that though by First Killer. Immediate response, and that is exactly what I was talking about. When Rogue are playing, you know that they're going to bring some cool goals to the table as well. Brutal efficiency from First Killer. Collected the pass and slammed it home from a tight angle on the rebound. Kronovi's up much faster than Arsenal for that one. Typical with a bad touchdown, or is it? Maybe that was intended to bring Rettles into the game. Still though, this is risky for SSG. But like they have most of tonight, they do have men in reserve. They've got players backing each other up. They're not leaving someone isolated in defense. Good bump by First Killer. So he takes Typical out of the game. Looks like SSG are going to fight fire with fire though. They return some physical play of their own. That's two players out of the game. Turinturo was able to capitalize on what could have been a dangerous position. SSG have got another chance on 0 seconds here, but they do let it drop for overtime game 1. Rogue quite happy to see that one back in the orange. Chance early on. First Killer on the ground. He's bumped one, but again, Spacestation have got that backup player, that follow-up challenge. It's not that they don't have faith in each other to succeed on the first challenge. It's just better. Oh no, that's not the right double touch Kronovi was looking for. He almost own goal there. I think it was Kronovi. Turinturo was able to back him up as well. And I think it's the more standard play to, you know, not have full faith in your second man in the play. Third man wants to just be the safety net, be the glue that holds the team together. I think G2 are the only team who don't really play with that style. Their third man will just have full faith in the second man hitting the ball. Oh, thank goodness. Or is it? I was going to say thank goodness for Space Station that they didn't have faith in the second man making contact, because that was a clean whiff. But not only that, Rettles has totally missed a routine clear off the goal line. He panicked when he realized he was the only player in defense. And Kronovi picks up the winner. That was not what you want to see from SSG, but hey, Rogue will take it. Great comeback win for them. And they've got the lead now in the hunt for their first grand final off the grid for North America. Great start, but disaster for Rettles. Disaster for Space Station Gaming. What on earth happened there? I mean, the hard clear was effective. It was definitely a boomer by First Killer. And when you're playing against First Killer, you have to expect that he's going to rip the ball off the back wall like that. You need to be ready for it. And I think most of today, Space Station have been ready for those hard clears. But more than any other player in NA, maybe even the world, First Killer's power that he can generate on the ball with consistency, I think is above and beyond. That guy is something else. When it comes to shots power, clear power, it's typical. Denied by Turinturo as he tried to slow play that dribble. You want one show matches back so bad? I've got something in the works with that. We're looking to bring Salt Mine back in a different way. Very exciting new format, but that's still in the planning stage. It takes a while, so you know, give me some time there, and I think you guys are going to like what we've got planned for Salt Mine, the next chapter. Hopefully you're enjoying the increased amount of 3v3 content that we've had in the meantime. I mean, this is it's good for me to get my 3v3 casting reps in. Nice save by First Killer. So I casted a ton of 1v1 and other game modes in the off season, and now of course I'm doing RLCSX in the weekends, so I'm loving the fact that I can get so much 3v3 casting in the meantime, on Thursdays, Fridays, both for EU and NA. But yeah, don't think I've forgotten about 1v1. That's far from the truth. That's far from the case. We will have plenty 1v1 on my channel in the future. Oh wow, what a shot that would have been. Turinturo had to read that ball as it flew past him. I mean, we've seen a couple good goals already in this series. That would have taken the cake by a mile. My 3's casting about to be swole. Well, you know, 3's solo casting is not something I really need to worry about, because I always have a co-caster when I'm casting 3's. in Rocket League competitions and events. However, I have found personally that solo casting is one of the best ways to just kind of practice knowing what to say when your co-caster throws to you, and just always having lots and lots of things to say. And I know that this is not a large group of people, but a few people have asked me in the past, quite a few people have asked me, you know, how do you know what to say when you're casting and the other caster throws to you, or the other guy leaves a gap for you to say something? How do you know what to say? Well, when you solo cast a ton of Rocket League, especially a particular game mode, you just end up having so many things to say that the problem is less what do you say and more which one of the things in your head do you pick to say. So at no stage during these games am I likely to be stuck for something to say, because, well, one, I've done this quite a lot. Two, solo casting really brings that out of you. But number three, I've also got you guys, so if I'd rather just, you know, throw to my co-caster Twitch chat, I'll have a look over and read a comment, and then I can respond to that. But hey, with gameplay like this, we don't need to worry about lacking topics to talk about. That is a beautiful passing play. 1, 2, 3, and into the net she goes. SSG ahead by 1. Rogue didn't have a lot of breathing room there, but main issue really was that Rogue had a very isolated third man, and I'm talking a lot about that right now, because it's something that SSG have done exceptionally well today. It's never having an isolated third man, or at least not having an overly isolated third man, who's got to do far too much by himself. Oh, that's a dangerous 50-50 though. It's not like Arsenal to be on the wrong side of a 50-50 like that. But he did have backup as SSG tried to convert again. They'll definitely push for another goal here, if what we've seen so far today is anything to go off. They're a great defensive team now. SSG weren't always a great defensive team. In fact, I was critical of them in the past of really only performing well when they were able to attack and get a bunch of bumps and demos and, you know, flashy plays when they can pop off. Basically, they were a team who really needed to pop off to be able to bring any kind of consistent performance, but that's no longer the case. SSG, regardless of whether or not they're popping off or whether they're just scoring very normal goals and playing very standard Rocket League, even if they're behind, they are a much, much more consistently good team now. And that's what's been able to take them to the next level. It's not that they've popped off even more than before, although we're still seeing that. It's just that they've leveled up every other aspect of their game. Some great games for SSG today. First killer with the own goal double touch attempt. Granovi saved it. That was the second own goal double touch attempt from Rogue already. So we had one from Granovi earlier. I would say SSG have been the most consistent team to watch and the most consistently fun team to watch in the grid. Because I've had a chance to tune into the other streams every now and then with you know, how quickly SSG have been disposing of the competition in some rounds, and also with how this week and last week they skipped the lower finals in the group stage. 2-0. SSG do get the 2-goal cushion here, but they didn't really need it. This was absolutely rubbish time for Rogue. SSG leveled up here. Rogue didn't have that same spark that they got in game 1. So I'm saying that AXB was the problem. I don't think AXB was the problem. I do think that this roster with Rettles is more threatening though, and it makes more sense to me on paper. I liked SSG with AXB as well. I think they were a great team. I think that had that roster continued to play together, they could have continued to improve. And I think they would have easily been one of the top teams in NA. However, with Rettles in the roster, I think that just unlocks so much more potential, because this team for me is just like 3 players that nobody wants to play against. That's how I would describe them. I don't think anybody wants to play against these guys. Nobody in NA, I don't think anybody in EU wants to play against them. Like maybe somebody will tell you that they do, but I don't believe them. I don't believe them at all. Thank you for all the support we've had today, by the way. Put time into that. It looks like we got a little bit of a break here. I realized right now that I actually have got my chat disabled because I was playing some ranked games earlier. If you ever run into me in ranked in Rocket League, most of the time I play with my chat disabled because I just want to chill out and play the game. So if I don't reply, that's why. It's nothing else. I just don't play with my chat on. The grid is a really good and fun way for other casters to stream. Yeah, who have you guys been enjoying watching? Because I know that most of you, if not all of you, have been checking out multiple streams, and that's awesome. I want to know who should I go and watch when SSG are already through Athena and Orb. I actually realized that whenever SSG are playing G2, a ton of G2 fans actually stop by and watch the Spacestation Gaming stream, my stream's POV of the matches. What's that about? What are all you G2 fans doing on my stream instead of the official G2 stream? Maybe, I guess you're probably just watching both, so at least that's what I would guess. I think you know, a lot of people are loving the really biased style casting that some streams are going for, and a lot of other you know, people are loving the biased, not even casting, just biased kind of supporting that's happening on other streams. I'm all for the variety, you know. It's better if we've got variety, then we're more likely to have a stream that somebody will enjoy. I'm sure there's lots of people who don't like my style of casting these games, and you know, the style of streams that we put on here in Spacestation Mission Control, and they might prefer one of the other viewing parties. And that's why variety's really awesome, and that's one of the things for the grid that's been really cool for me, is to see all these streams popping off and getting tons of views. That's awesome. You know, I'm trying to really make that happen with a lot of the off-season community events that we've had going on. You guys will know that for Fusion qualifiers and for Saltmine 2 qualifiers, I was really happy to be able to get lots of other streamers and lots of other casters involved, bringing you guys other matches that I can't obviously cover myself. So this for me is just another iteration of that same idea. Lots of streams, lots of matches, lots of content, and I'm sure every fan of Rocket League is going to find someone that they enjoy watching. This is a good start for Rogue here in game number 3, sorry. Let's see if they can keep this up. You know, when Rogue are ahead, look how much they spread out compared to when they're losing. I feel like when Rogue are losing, and I maybe shouldn't tell them this because now they're going to go ahead and fix that problem and be even more of a dangerous opponent than they already are. But honestly, I think that there's such a clear difference between Rogue and how they position when they're behind compared to how they position when they're ahead. You'll notice that when they're winning, they're supporting players who are following up on a center ball play, who are following up on an attacking play. They love to get over on the far post side, which is obviously something I'm a big fan of. If you've listened to me cast before, you'll already know that. But when they're losing, they kind of all queue up at the near post, and it becomes a lot easier to defend. Well, speaking of queuing up at the near post, what on earth are Arsenal and Typical doing here? Literally queuing up to take a shot at the ball. That was like something out of Bronze League. All the goalkeepers waiting in the goal to take their turn. Big chance for Arsenal. He's got Rails flying, or Typical flying ahead of him. But what a save though by First Killer. He avoids the bump and makes a save on the attack that was coming right after it. That was not a bad timing by Spacestation at all. The attack on Rettles, or on First Killer, sorry, on the goal line was timed pretty well. It arrived right before the ball did, but First Killer using the post to get away from it. Still though, tons of pressure from SSG. Top corner shot by Rettles will be the equalizer. There's no way that First Killer can get the save on that one. He just didn't time his position at the back of the goal correctly. He kind of drove out the net and then he got back in the front of the goal, or got back in the back of the goal, sorry. But it was all too late. The shot was already coming. Turn Turo to the back wall. Kronovi's up already, beaten to it by Rettles. First Killer's going to keep the ball in the half. Look at that clear though. My goodness, Rettles timed that well. Didn't even jump for it, just clipped it as it bounced. What kind of silvers do that? Maybe it's just my memory of when I was in silver, just last week, obviously. But yeah, obviously when I was that rank, it was a long time ago. and people used to just queue up in the goal. You know, if you're defending, somebody would be in goal and somebody else would be in goal behind that guy, and the third player would be in goal behind that guy. Rogue, they don't need that though. When you got first killer in goal, you don't really need anyone behind him. He's just going to save everything, and he's going to transition perfectly down the middle, offloads to Turnturo, and Space Station Gaming have been caught completely by surprise. Guess they've not been watching First Killer's 1v1 matches. I should have told them, never shoot far post against First Killer. What happens when you shoot far post against First? He saves it, he controls the ball, he scores on the counter attack. This time he's got a teammate to help him out, so it's even more deadly. It's just something that you learn when you watch this guy play. You don't want to shoot far post unless you know for sure that that ball is going to go past him. It didn't look that way to me. It was a bit touch and go. It was a bit more of a maybe from that angle. Chance again for Arsenal on the ground. Fake challenge from Kronovi. Gives Turnturo some time here. Turnturo hasn't really done much with that. And now Space Station Gaming are coming at the back post. That was not the best defensive display by Rogue, but they've hung on. And they've got Space Station in a really awkward position here. This is going to be tough to score from. In fact, Rogue can deny it entirely. Into the ground the ball goes. And into the lead Rogue go in this series. They have got the 2-1 advantage. Remember, this is best of 7 though. This is not a best of 5 like we had earlier on in the tournament in every other game. And it does look like we're going to be getting straight into game 4 without a break like we had after game number 2. Spam this cat, SSG or Plat? Yeah, Grand Plat maybe. That's a good one though. I love the... I really like the cat. What's it called again? Cat Jam? Love it. That's one of my favorites right now. Just looks like he's having such a good time. Oh! Kronovi with the plays at the near post. That's a goal in 3 seconds. Rettles, where are you going, buddy? That's not a good line to be taken in defense. Just did a little pirouette in the corner while Kronovi's sniping out the angle of the game so far. Angle of the series. That was gorgeous by Kronovi. He didn't have a lot of boost to play with either. And there's just something about this guy. Kronovi, been around since before Season 1. He's been around since before Rocket League existed, and he's still competing at the top level. Rogue looking to add another goal to their already solid scoreline that they've got in this series. SSG on the ropes here. And this is easily one of the most dangerous positions that they've been in a semi-final so far. They've usually been leading in most of the... in fact, I think in both the previous weeks, semi-finals and finals, Space Station have been ahead. There was, of course, a reverse sweep in week 1 that SSG had to make happen, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, flip reset from Turnturo. Nobody's there for the follow-up. Rogue have to be sending somebody into that attacking lane. I really thought somebody was going to be there to rebound that. We would get to watch Turnturo's play again in a replay. I wouldn't even be mad. Love to see some good Rocket League. But it would be nice to make another grand final. You know, we're getting spoiled here. Space Station Gaming have been spoiling us over here at Mission Control and carrying us to every grand final. It's kind of become expected at this point. Delayed shot from Arsenal, saved by First, who has proven to be a brick wall as expected in defense once again. First Killer with the clear. Oh, Sipicals hit it backwards by mistake. I don't think that was an intentional back pass here. Rettles is going to clean it up either way. Great 50-50. 2v1. Rettles and Arsenal against First Killer. Oh my goodness. Doesn't matter. First Killer right now is huge in defense. And that doesn't look like a reliable shot for me. Arsenal really hoping more than anything else that Rogue are going to miss that. Mind game by First Killer, who is dominating this lobby right now. What a series he's having. Truly impressive stuff. It's been more of a defensive display than anything else, in my opinion. And you'll love to see it. Kronovi straight down the middle. That's easy for Space Station Gaming to collect. Arsenal, free shot. Again, First Killer with the save. Can they get anything past this guy? There was one goal in the last game, or I think it was not the last game, it was game number 2. That was the only... There's one goal where First Killer was in the back of the net and he wasn't ready to follow up, but everything else, he's in good positions. And now Kronovi and Turnturo combine in offense to go 2-0 ahead. First Killer obviously had a part to play in this as well. Back wall was covered for SSG, but First Killer bumped the back wall defender way ahead of the play. So SSG's defense crumbled. They thought they had everything covered. Keyword thought. Less than half the game to go. SSG in trouble. After game 2, it looked like they'd retaken control in this series and definitely had a visible edge on Rogue. Didn't have the same killer instinct that they had in game 1. But Rogue are absolutely all over them. That should have been on target. Turinturo was uncontested from about 2 yards out. Again, Turinturo uncontested. He hits the bar. Boost is a premium right now for Spacestation. They just can't get control of their back corner. Typical. Actually expected a touch there from the Rogue defender. Now he's accidentally dunked on Rettel's center ball. Things are not going well for Spacestation. Synergy is lacking. They've had a couple of unfortunate blocks on their own touches. But with First Killer in goal, Rogue look indestructible. Less and less time for SSG to do anything. Rettel's just clattered out the sky. Typical trying to make something happen. He's past 2, but now Kronovi's going to be in the way. Sick mind game by Crow. He's right underneath 1. Now he just gives it to First Killer. Nice little baton pass there from Crow to First. The communication's definitely on point for Rogue now. Typical runs out of boost before he could center this one. Less than a minute left in game number 4. SSG on the ropes. And it's not that I lack faith in them being able to come back from 3-1 down. Of course, a team like SSG can do that. But the problem right now is that they can't get a goal past First Killer, who shows exactly how to put a goal past them. Oh my goodness. First Killer is on fire. A absolutely monstrous double touch over Sipical. That was just clean. Right over Sipical. And how many players do you see beating Sipical to the ball by that range? I think you could count on 0 fingers the amount before right now. First Killer making this look easy. Absolutely outstanding performance by him. And he's not just a defensive monster. He is a double tap machine. Just looking like an aimbot on that play, really. He got to that ball so quickly. 3-0. Rogue are on fire, led by First Killer, but Kronovi and Turinturo haven't put a foot wrong here either. Just a perfect game from Rogue in game 4. And if Spacestation can come back from this, then I think that just solidifies them as the top team in NA, because they are up against it here. Rogue bring in their A game. As if they need to get they need to invent a new letter of the alphabet before A, because that's the one that represents the game that Rogue brought to this 4th game of the series. I don't think A does this one justice. Really. S, you guys want to go with S game? I suppose that does make sense. Yeah, you guys all got that immediately. I missed it. My bad. Remind me again who's the professional Rocket League caster. Everybody in Twitch chat got the joke. I didn't. Hey, I didn't forget S was a letter. I forgot that it does go above A on tier list, so I will admit. Triple match point for Rogue. Spacestation need 3 in a row. Arsenal locks up Kronovi on the back wall, but it's off target. Now First Killer is going to try and take Sipical out of the way. Sipical does really well there. Kronovi is actually looking awkward here. A little bit out of position, but unfortunately for Spacestation, 2 shots have just trickled off target in a row. And they've struggled to get opportunities on open nets. First Killer's on the goal line, but he can't stop that one. Sipical snipes the bottom corner. What a relief that is for Spacestation Gaming. Not only have they scored, but they've scored while First Killer's in goal. It can be done. 30 seconds in as well. That was a pretty sick strike by Sipical. He air rolled 90 degrees to the left to get as much power on that shot as he could, hitting it as early as he could. Now let's see if Rogue fall into the same kind of pattern that we sometimes see them fall into. We have to wait and see how they attack, especially on the counters. Arsenal air dribbling out of a wall shot. Of course, he would be doing that, wouldn't he? Well, we've seen Spacestation play from behind in the grid before. We've seen them come back from, you know, incredibly tough situations. They've been 5-0'd in games and then responded the next game with a stellar performance more than one time, actually. So I have no doubt that they're going to be able to bring us some good Rocket League in the remaining games of this series, however many they may be. I know that all of you guys right now wouldn't mind to see 3 more. This is incredibly entertaining stuff. I told you, this is why I love to just see great Rocket League. I want to see good teams. I want to see all of NA rising to the occasion, getting to that level that Spacestation have shown us for weeks in a row now. And they're continuing to show us. Arsenal to Typical, to the back of the net. And Turinturo had no chance. Arsenal had him covered, blocked the saving angle. And again, first killer's not there to rescue Rogue when the ball reaches the goal line. Pause the game and give a few goals to SSG. I don't think I can... No, I don't have admin mode because I didn't make this lobby. I think it's for the best that I don't have admin mode, just in case I accidentally pause it. Oh, Arsenal would have loved Rails to get over the top of that one. First killer with another huge save. He keeps Rogue in this fight too. Oh man, I'm never going to get tired of watching goal line saves from first killer in this matchup, even though they are really harming Spacestation chances of progressing. He just is something else today. It's not like that shot was hit poorly or anything. It was a banger by Typical again. Perfect placement, smashed it on target. But SSG have got more chances. Arsenal takes his time. He goes on the outside. That's a really good 50-50. Typical's up early. First killer gets in the way of him. Turinturo predicted Rettle's path to the net as well. Kronovi wants to go himself. He's bumped out of the way. And now Arsenal counters that dribble with one of his own, but first killer's waiting in defense. You know what that means. The ball's only going to be in the blue half for a moment before first killer slams it all the way as far as anyone can. You wish I was a bit more biased? Nah, it's not going to happen, mate. It's just not me. I'm genuinely happy for Rogue when I see them make a good play. I'm being honest with you guys. When first killer makes a big play, I'm happy for him. I'm hyped when he makes a big save. When somebody scores a good double, I'm happy for him. That's just how I am. So I'm not going to try and pretend that I'm devastated when I see a cool goal going in for Rogue, because I'm not. I'm just straight up not. Do I want SSG to win this series so we can cast the grand final as well? 100%. 100%. Am I going to let that influence my casting? Probably not. Probably not. This is just my style. I'm just going to keep doing what I do. But hey, this has been a great game. Perfect way to respond to a 3-0 loss, if you ask me. And that is honestly something we probably have to see a bit more. Arsenal demoing first killer in the goal line. Why? Right now, Arsenal's probably thinking, why haven't I thought of that already? All these saves that first killer's making. Why haven't I done that already? Let's just demo him. Yeah. Really good idea, Arsenal. If you can't get the ball past him, then take him out of the way of the ball. Every other stream is extremely biased. I've not really had a chance to listen to extended periods of them, but I've tuned into a few of them, and it's, you know, like I said earlier, it's cool to have a variety, lots of different styles. And if other casters, don't get me wrong here, I'm not saying that I don't approve of a biased style of casting. I spoke to this earlier as well, but I'll say it again. I'm sure we've got some new viewers tuning in. But I love that there's other casters and other combinations of, personalities on streams that are able to bring different style of content. We shouldn't all be trying to replicate each other. Just everybody's just going to do their own thing, you know? There's no right or wrong way to do this. There is a wrong way to defend that shot from Kronovi, though, and there it is on display from Arsenal. Where on earth was he? What you call that is no man's land. And you don't want to be in no man's land. Right, late surge potentially for Rogue. That's a good kickoff from SSG. And surely they'll be able to transition that into a game win. Johnny only biased when his team is winning. I don't think I'm really biased when they're winning either. To be honest, I think I've given props to teams that SSG have beaten. Hyped up a bunch of G2 0-second goals in week 1 and week 2. You know, why did I do that? It's because I was hyped for them. they were cool moments. They were really great goals. This is a great series. So I'm having a great time watching these two teams play. Would not mind seeing more of them on the field. And what better place to be for it than Manfield Night, the home of Great Rocket League. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream tonight, remember Twitch Prime exists. I don't have alerts on though, so I'm sorry if that's what if you want to see an alert pop up or text to speech. I can't promise you that because I've turned all that off. So do be warned. I've turned them all off for today. We've got an alert stream. Every time I do grid streams, I do turn them off. Try and focus more on the games. Ooh, where was the last man for Rogue on that play? That was wide open. I can hear Jesse all the way from the Netherlands yelling Opan, and that is indeed spelt O-P-A-N. Unfortunately, like Jesse streams, nobody was there to score the goal. You guys are right, actually. It's O-P-triple-A-N. My mistake. Hopefully for Spacestation there won't be any more Opan nets, but that looks pretty open to me. In the Rogue goal. And once again, there's no first killer at home to rescue them, or at least, well, he wasn't in the right position this time. He was at home, but for once, he's positioned himself incorrectly. He didn't read the play. I really think first killer was expecting a shot in that play. But the center ball has to be something you're thinking about as well. Typical. Has a lot of time in the air here, and you know what that means. Ball's in the air, Sipical's closest to it. He's scoring. Just as simple as that. It is a goal. First killer or no first killer. The goal is happening. 2-0. SSG on the comeback trail. That's exactly what Jesse would have done in that position, as I'm sure he would inform you. Have you guys been watching any of the Dignitas viewing parties over in EU? Any of you been able to tune into those? I know Jesse's casting the Dignitas games. I've not been able to tune into any of them myself, but I certainly have to at some point. I really want to. That would be a great experience. I'm a big fan, as you probably know by the amount of references there have already been in this game. But another 3-0. Rogue, listen. I know you liked the last game. You thought it was a reasonable follow-up to a 3-0 win. Just lose 3-0 for the script, but you could have come up with something new for this game. Is this really what the script writers are doing these days? They're just giving us repeat episodes. They're not even spreading them out. They're just like, yeah, just run it back. Just do the same thing again. They won't notice. Like, what do they take us for? They think we're not going to notice this. There's plenty of time left. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. There's time for more goals for sure. 3-1 last game, true, but just wait. Late Rogue goal is coming. What did it start with? It started with a 3-0, my friend. New writers, please. I know, right? We need to get some creativity in here. Can't be having the same thing over and over again, even if it is a Spacestation 3-0 lead. Why not 4? Sipical's actually going to put a 4th in. There we go. Why not 4? Thank you, Sipical. He heard me. Oh my goodness, what a goal. That's insane. Oh man, Sipical's on another level right now. He saw how difficult it was to score past first killer in the previous games, and he thought, you know what, it's time to step it up a gear. It's time to bring out game 5 and 6 SSG. And these have been unsavable. These shots right now, not savable. That one is though. Arsenal shows how it's done. Just stopped time right there. He just halted mid-air, knowing exactly where the shot was going to be. And who's that infield pass to? Rogue letting themselves down here as Kronovi offloads to absolutely no one. Rogue looked pretty lost. probably wondering what on earth happened. But like I said, you know, SSG, they have responded so well to several crushing defeats in the grid that when I see them losing a 3-0 to a Rogue who are popping off in Game 4 of this series, I'm not worried that the mission control is coming to a brief stop. I know that we're going to be going on to more great games, because if there's anything that I've learned from watching SSG in weeks 1 and 2, is that they know how to bounce back from a crushing defeat. 5-0, I know, I was wrong. These writers are brilliant, actually. Whoever wrote this game, give him a raise. SSG looking to increase their scoreline as well, but Rogue looking to get there first, and Turinturo will smash it in from close range. And you know, maybe that's the downside of going 5-0 ahead so quickly, is there's actually still a chance for Rogue to make something happen here. If they can get one more quick goal, and definitely a live game, a winnable game. Let's see if they can make it happen. They got a kickoff goal earlier on this series. I think a 3-second goal. Not going to be as fast this time. But truthfully, I really see nothing but a Game 7 on the horizon. Even if Rogue can pile on the pressure, I don't think that Spacestation are going to let 4 goals past them in that quick succession. It's just not something we see very often. Luckily for us, something we are seeing very often, in fact every single grid stream so far, is consistently phenomenal matches coming out of SSG. What a team they've turned out to be. And I fully respect the grind that these guys are on. They're putting in the work, and does it show? Absolutely. And that's the best way for Rocket League to be, rewarding the teams who put in the work. That's a great touch. First killer almost doubled it in himself. Kronovi wasn't able to put it in for him. That's another one of those shots from First killer. If he scores that, I would be just so impressed, because even though we've seen him score banger after banger today, that one was you know, a double touch where he's catching the ball on the flyby. The ball's flying over his head and he just clips it in a straight line to the backboard so he can chase it down for the double. I appreciate the subs again, guys. You're all far too kind. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream so far. If you are, then it's only going to get better from here, because we are going to Game 7. Rogue have not been able to convert the first 2 of their match points. We'll see if they can get the third one in a few moments, because this game's over. Game 7 is coming. What's going on in the other semi-final? We've got NRG versus Sonics, I believe. Have NRG won that one yet? I expect that NRG will win that. 4-1 or 4-2. NRG swept. Oh wow. Or 4-0, I suppose. I wasn't expecting a sweep, I'm not going to lie. I did think that they would win that one before a Game 7, though. I didn't really think Sonics would be able to take them all the way. Oh, what a save! Denied! At the end of the game there. Top corner shot. Not good enough. That might be a message for Rogue as we look forward to the last game of this series. Oh, sorry, I've just added one more score point to Rogue's score there. That's not right. Let me fix that. Thank you for your patience. Bear with me as I struggle with production as usual. Rogue wins leaked. Hey, people are they're gonna say that. There's definitely at least one skeptic in chat right now who thinks that I just leaked the outcome of this. It genuinely believes that this is scripted. And you're all gonna pretend like it's you. Me smiles incoming. But here we go, Game 7. SSG have won the last 2. They're the informed team. They haven't been close games. The first 3 games of this series were close, I would say. Then game number 4, Rogue were just too good. Game 5 and 6, SSG were too good. But let's see who will clutch it up in Game 7. Rogue were able to clutch 2 Game 5s earlier on in the tournament today, so this is worrisome. And they're off to a good start here. That's a dangerous ball, but Rettles can see all the information he needs to know. Takes his time, and beautiful first touch by Sypical. He had to fly over the mid boost though to keep that ball away from the Rogue player who's waiting below him. First killer with a rare miss hit on the banger. I was expecting nothing less than a top corner laser from First Killer in that position, but he hit it wide. I think more than anything, it's important that Rogue get the first goal here if they're going to have a chance in this match. Not only because I think that out of these two teams, they're the team who struggle more to play consistently from behind. I think Spacestation are a much better team right now, playing from a losing position. Not that Rogue can't make comebacks. They did it a couple times against Envy in the last round. But it's just more likely the Spacestation will pull that out of the bag. Good bump by Sypical on the retreat there. We're on the ball cam, but no doubt he had his ball cam off for that. But at least Rogue haven't conceded just yet. This bodes well for them. Arsenal doesn't have any boost to work with here, but Retzels does, and he's gone for a flying bump as well. Lots of aggression by SSG. That's great ball chasing by Turinturo. He didn't want to leave First Killer alone to make the save. That's the weakest hit of the day award for Arsenal. Not what you want to see from SSG. If you want to see them make a third final in a row, hasn't been easy, but so far they look like the favorites to make it. Rogue are waiting for something huge out of First Killer, it would seem. They're just biding their time, seeing if First Killer can do something special once again. That's a miss from Retzels. He tried to clip that one on the bounce without jumping. It's very difficult to do that, especially when you're creeping up on the approach like he did. It's easier to go faster. Typical. Misses his bump on Turo. Kronovi and Turinturo are both up for this. Kronovi's missed the rebound. First Killer passes it to him. That's really good plan B there by Rogue. And it's a phenomenal save. Typical had 90% of the ball over the goal, but he pulled it back out by pinching it off the post. That is an unbelievable save. Just when you thought First Killer was going to steal the show, when you're talking about defensive display, Typical goes and does something like that. That looked completely unstoppable, and Rogue they're just completely shaken now. Triple committing for a ball. Typical, uncontested, and he puts it in off the bar. Well, First Killer was the MVP of the first half, but there's only been one player who truly has put this series in fully under his control, and you're looking at him. Typical. Unreal performance from one end of the field to the other. Now there's less than 2 minutes in it to see if SSG can win 3 in a row, deny 3 match points, and secure their 3rd grand final in the grid. Save that replay. That is a good idea. Thank you for reminding me. Rogue need to come back again. They did it twice in the last round against Envy. They were down 1-0. They equalized. They were down 2-1. They equalized again. And then they got the overtime winner. That's not somewhere that Spacestation wants to go. Rogue in overtime game 5, you never really know what's going to happen. I mean, game 7, sorry. Game 7 in general, especially overtime, you never know what's going to happen. Full stop, or period, as we discussed earlier. Minute and change. Turinturo alone at the back. Lobs it out into the corner. Spacestation have got plenty players ready to make a play on this ball. The rotation is in full force, and Rogue are struggling to find a way through it. Can First Killer produce something magical once again? Will Turinturo or Kronovi step up and do likewise? It's First Killer to Turinturo. He goes underneath the first challenge. Oh, Arsenal just calls his bluff. He just looks at the bump straight in the face and says, I don't think you're going to drive into me, buddy. And he was right. What confidence for Arsenal to just sit there. They had a game of chicken, and Arsenal's not afraid. 25 seconds left. Rogue still need a goal. They have really struggled in the last few games to put SSG under any kind of pressure, even though SSG were already under pressure just by the fact that they're in this position. Trailing 1-3, trailing 1-2. Now it's 3-3. First Killer looking for the corner double. He won't get it past Retzels. Now Arsenal will try and double it at the other end. And he will! Spacestation come out on top, barring a couple of crazy goals in 3 seconds. They just confirmed their 3rd grand final in a row in style. Unbelievable. What a series between Rogue and SSG. Rogue must be just heartbroken. They must just be questioning, what is Rocket League right now? Because they played so well here at both sides of the field. They had a consistent team performance, and they brought the best out their star player, First Killer. Unfortunately for them, Sypical exists, and Spacestation Gaming, they've done it once again. They're into another grand final. We're casting another grand final, boys. It just keeps happening. I don't know when this is going to stop, but yeah, they've done it again, and it's a different opponent every time. First week it was Envy, last week it was G2. Now it's an NRG who, okay, that's a pretty decent run. 3-0, 4-0 for NRG. Definitely not as stacked of a bracket as Spacestation had, but still, that is impressive. So this is going to be a great series. I can't wait to get it started. We'll be getting it started in just a few moments because they're already waiting for us. So